know, this is going to hurt, but it is official that Lamine Yamal will not feature for Barcelona's Champions League match against Brest because he has to continue recovering from his ankle injury. Keep in mind that Lamine Yamal has been out from the game for the past 3 to 4 weeks. He recently just withdrawn from the Spanish squad for the Nations League over the international break because he did pick up a knock in their last European game, which was that win over Red Star on November 6th. So that did lead towards Barcelona not having Lamine Yamal in the match against Real Sociedad, where they lost, and then in the next match against Celta Vigo, where they did tie. Barcelona also said that, the reason why Lamine Yamal has not been able to return even after the international break is because he encountered a grade 1 ankle sprain. And so currently right now, Lamine Yamal is working on getting back to his full fitness. He has been training with some teammates and he has been getting better, but it's not to the point where we can have Lamine Yamal start in a Champions League match. Even Hansi Flick confirmed this, and he believes that Lamine Yamal is going to get better very, very soon. And hopefully he can have Lamine Yamal in the match against Las Palmas later down this week. And this is what he stated. His quality is very good. He controls the ball. He creates spaces. He gets away from the opposition. I hope this is the last game he misses. He's better now. I think he'll be an option on Saturday or he'll be on the bench. We'll see. Now, honestly, I'm not surprised that Lamine Yamal finally got like his first injury in a very long time because, Lamine Yamal has been playing in every game and playing past 80 minutes. He has been the most consistent player alongside Jules Koundé in terms of minutes. And so all of us did expect for at one point for Lamine Yamal to get an injury. That is just something very normal, right? Every player goes through an injury, and especially when they are being used consistently and get overutilized in the end. Thank God that Lamine Yamal doesn't have to be out for like, let's just say 4 to 5 months. It's not something serious like what we saw with Pedri or Gavi or Alejandro Balde or Frankie de Jong or anybody else, right? Yamal simply just has a normal ankle injury and he should be returning very soon. Inigo Martinez also spoke about this during the pre-match press conference, and he said this: "We know his importance. He gives us a lot. He is a player that does push back on the rival's line and he generates a lot of fear. He is vital and important, but that doesn't mean that whoever comes on won't be up to the job. Anyone is capable, but Lamine Yamal is Lamine Yamal and we don't have him. But whoever comes in will give no less. It's not because of him that we will win or lose. We focus on the players we have." And so also, Barcelona is also not going to have Alejandro Balde. Alejandro Balde did miss the previous match against Celta Vigo, and that is because of a muscular injury. Flick stated this: "He had some muscular problems from a few days ago. He didn't play. He's better today, but he won't be an option for tomorrow." And so as you can see that there is a consistency going on with Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick is not somebody that says, okay, because he's like 90 to 99% there and because he looks okay, I'm going to use the player. Hansi Flick is extra cautious because one of the things that we have seen over the past few years when it comes to these Barcelona players getting injured is they don't get enough rest or enough recovery time to fully come back and say, okay, I'm 110%. I should be good to go for the next 4 to 5 months at the very least. No, usually we saw Barcelona rush these players back and then encounter another injury a few weeks later. We saw this with Gavi, we saw this with Ansu, we saw this with Pedri, we saw this with almost everybody in the past few years. But Hansi Flick is taking a much different approach. Even the slightest little fatigue on anywhere in your body, Hansi Flick is going to tell you to sit down and you're not going to play at all. So Flick is very strict in terms of this part of the game management. And I know that it does hurt. It hurts to see that Barcelona cannot have Lamine Yamal for a third game in a row because honestly, without him, Barcelona is a much different team. And to be honest, like deep down, I don't care. Like I would much rather risk us winning the league or winning Champions League matches in order for us to have Lamine Yamal for a very long time. I don't want to force Lamine Yamal through anything because we already know what happens by the end of that story. We know that Lamine Yamal might get a really serious injury that might take him out for a few months and maybe not even come back as the same player. We don't want that. I don't want to sacrifice that. I would much rather sacrifice the now and what Barcelona are currently in, which is the Champions League matches and league matches. Yes, it's true that Barcelona do suffer without him, but Barcelona have to know exactly how to maneuver from this. And I believe that this is also a learning lesson and a huge sporting point for Hansi Flick. I believe that Hansi Flick is now looking at this team and saying, okay, we definitely do have a weakness here. Barcelona do lack 1v1 experts. When Lamine Yamal is not here, I don't really have anybody else because Rafinha is not that type of player. Ferran Torres cannot be relied on. Ansu Fati also cannot be relied on. Barcelona literally do not have anybody else. The only one that is probably a 1v1 expert, if not a 1 versus 3 expert, it is Dani Olmo. But we need much more than that. So I think that Hansi Flick is going to be taking notes and saying, okay, this is going to be one of the problems and we're definitely going to be addressing this for the next summer. Hence the reason why Deco, Joan Laporta, and Hansi Flick are all eyeing Rafael Leao, a 1v1 expert. But that is going to be for a whole other different conversation. It's a whole other different topic. We'll talk about that in a separate video. But for sure, I believe that Flick has already detected the problem within this team, and I hope that he does correct it. Now, to give you guys context on how Barcelona do perform without Lamine Yamal in the match against Espanyol and against Red Star, right? We did win 3-1. And then in the match against Red Star, we won 2-5. In the match against Espanyol, we had 3 big chances created. In the match against Red Star, we had 5 big chances created. So in those 2 matches, we created 8 very big chances. But then if you look at the previous 2 games where Lamine Yamal was not there, in the match against Sociedad, there was 0 big chances created. 0. That is insane. And then in the match against Celta Vigo, Barcelona generated 3 big chances. And so isn't that crazy that without Lamine Yamal, which was against Sociedad and Celta Vigo, in total we only generated 3 big chances. But in the match against Espanyol and Red Star, where Lamine Yamal was there, in total we had 8 big chances created. So with Lamine Yamal, we more than double the amount of big chances. That is how big of an impact Yamal is to FC Barcelona. And to also go into further stats of with and without Lamine Yamal, in the match against Espanyol, our expected goal rate was 1.83. In the match against Red Star, our expected goal rate was 3.63. And then if you look at the match against Sociedad, our expected goal rate was 0.64. And then in the match against Celta Vigo, our expected goal rate was once again 1.74. These are very poor numbers and poor expected goal rates compared to the matches against Espanyol and Red Star, where once again Lamine Yamal was there. And so overall, right, I believe that Hansi Flick does see a lack of determination and belief from some of these players in the past 2 matches, mainly because I think that the players could be fatigued, also maybe because Lamine Yamal is not there. Maybe they feel like they proved a point after beating Bayern Munich and Real Madrid and Sevilla in a very dominant way. Maybe the determination did drop and the intensity also dropped with it, hence the reason why we have poor performances. And I think that Hansi Flick really needs to instill the hunger for success, to press always, to be 110% focused. Even Jules Koundé admitted that he lost focus during that play where he led the 2-1 for Celta Vigo. I believe that Barcelona have to return. We just have to, because a big win against Brest would really help this squad. And I don't want Hansi Flick to repeat what Xavi did back in 2021 and 2022, where, you know, that Barcelona team, they beat Valencia, I think it was like 5-1, they beat Real Madrid 4-0, right? That little golden era. I don't want to see that this season. I want to see a golden season, not a golden little phase within a season. Barcelona have to do much more. It cannot just be that October ended up being the most special phase for Barcelona this season. It cannot be. It has to be all months. We have to have a great November, a great December, a great January, a great February, and so forth. Now looking at Brest, you can see that Brest have not won a lot of games in the past few weeks. They have only gotten 3 wins, 3, and they have seen 3 losses and 2 ties. But here's the thing, you would assume that, okay, so Brest does not win a lot. But then if you look at Brest record in the Champions League, they have not lost yet. And there's a reason why Brest is ranked in number 4 in the Champions League right now. The top 5, as a matter of fact, is Liverpool, Sporting, CP, Monaco, Brest, and Inter Milan. Isn't it crazy that one of the biggest teams in the world, like Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Manchester City, Real Madrid, are not in the top 5? It's insane. Barcelona are right underneath the top 5, which is 6th place, right below Inter Milan, and right above Borussia Dortmund. But Brest is in 4th place. It's insane. They have not lost a single game. So they have had a great season so far in terms of Europe. And when we look at the reason why Brest have been amazing in the Champions League so far, they have been ranked in number 1 when it comes to accurate long balls per match, which is 38.8, and then you have PSV and Juventus, and they are ranked in number 1 when it comes to interceptions per match, which is 12.5, above Dinamo and PSV. What does this tell us? It tells us that Brest is a team that knows how to counter through long balls. They're very accurate on that. They know how to capitalize off of leaving spaces behind the defensive line. Brest is also a team that knows how to intercept the ball and disrupt play and go on the counter. This is the reason why Hansi Flick stated that Brest is good in transitions, and for us it is important to retain possession, finish our attacks, and secure the 3 points. Notice how he said finish our attacks, because he knows that Brest is a team that disrupts attacks, and Hansi Flick is telling his players that we have to finish it. We have to finish it. We have to be precise, we have to be focused, we have to know how to go through Brest, and we for sure have to know how to do this in front of our own fans, because we are playing at home. So I do think that there is no time for us to rest. There is no reason for us to rest our best players just so we can win in our next match on Saturday. I believe that this is going to be a very difficult one. So I do think that our starting 11 should look something like this. Our goalkeeper should be Peña. Backline should be Hector Fort on the left back position, since Alejandro Balde is not going to be there, and because we don't trust Gerard Martin, right, with his haram football, it should be illegal for Gerard Martin to ever start for Barcelona ever again. And then we have Inigo Martinez and Gobarsi in the center back positions, with Jules Koundé on the right back position. Our double pivot is going to be Gavi and Casado. Yes, you guys heard that right, Gavi and Casado. I am very fascinated, very pleased with their performance, and I want to see it again. I know that many want to see Casado and Pedri with Olmo on the central attacking midfield position, but because we are missing a right winger, and because Rafinha has to go to that right wing position, Olmo has to go to the left wing position, which means that we do have one position open, which is the central midfield role. And I believe that Pedri needs to slot in there. I know that we have Fermin Lopez, course, we have Pablo Torre, but I am very pleased with this triangle that we have here with Pedri, Gavi, and Casado. You have the disruption, you have the anger, the hunger, you have the fluidity between Casado, Gavi, and Pedri. That cannot be broken, and especially against a team like Brest. And so on the flanks, we have Olmo and Rafinha, and then Lewandowski up top. So let me know in the comment sections down below, what do you think about this starting 11? And if you don't like it, how would you change it? Do you want to see Fermin? Do you want to see Pablo Torre? Or do you want to see a different central defensive midfielder? And maybe have Frankie start with Casado. Once again, let me know in the comment sections down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.